Alright guys, welcome back to GameTime Legendz. In one of my recent dupe videos, I had a lot of comments or people struggling to do the dupe, and when I went back, it seemed to have been patched because I wasn't able to do it again. So this video is an alternative. It's basically the same method, but much more straightforward and easier. And yes, you could dupe 5 items at a time. Now there are 2 different tactics you could use to perform this glitch. One that I discovered from my good friend Yang Gaming on YouTube, and one that I discovered myself using that same method. And yes, you already know, I always try to hook you guys up with the best method, so mine is a little bit more easier due to the fact that it bypasses the first step that Yang used in his video, but nevertheless both of them are good, and I'm going to be showing you both methods. But before we jump into this video, if you're new to my channel, be sure to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out, and I have a lot more coming. I promised that I was going to hook you guys up with this easy alternative since you guys were struggling with the other one that probably have been patched. I don't know, but with that being said, here it is. So this is the area where we're going to be performing the glitch right at Lookout Landing. And yup, make sure you have your trusty horse with you because you're definitely going to need it. The first method that I'm going to be going over is the one I discovered from my good friend Yang. And in order to perform this method, you're going to have to activate the call glitch. So you're going to have to go down to a like. There are many like located throughout this wonderful land of Hyrule. The one at Lookout Landing is the one we're going to go to. All you got to do is jump down in your base. Turn around, you'll see a hole if you reach far enough in the game. You're going straight to the back of the cave. Make sure you stay on your left side because there are different paths on the right. Okay, so once you reach the back of the cave and you jump down, you'll see a like on the top of the cave or the ceiling of the cave. And that's the like we're going to be using to perform the glitch. The call glitch. If you're not familiar with this glitch or how to get link called, I go over a much more in-depth demonstration of how to do it step by step in another video. The link will be in the description if you're interested, so you could check it out there. So upon jumping down to where the like is, you'll see a stone right in the center of the ground, and you could use this stone as your guide to know exactly where to stand when performing the glitch. You want to walk right up in front of the stone before you get next to it. Then you want to pull out a control stick. Once you pull out the control stick, it should drop right on the other side of the stone. And you want to walk up a few steps so you could get closer to the steering stick. And you want to make sure that if you are standing next to the rock, make sure you don't see the pickup option, but instead the control option. Because if it says pickup and you're not paying attention, when the time comes and you hit A, he will pick up the rock instead of jumping on the steering stick. So be aware of that. And before we continue, I just want to mention, make sure you unequip your shield, bows, and weapons before you continue because one of them will be stolen if you don't. And also go to your ability wheel and select ascend before you continue. You don't have to do this, but it makes things a lot easier because once the call glitch is activated, you won't be able to activate your ability wheel without jumping on another steering stick. But once all that's done, make sure you save it and you'll be all set. Anyways, once you're ready, you just walk up to the control stick. Once the like spotted you, it'll make 1 or 2 sound. Then he'll open up and try to eat you. And your goal is to hit A to jump on the steering stick just before he strikes and make the attempt to swallow you. If the camera follows you, that means your timer was off, you probably hit A too late, or you didn't hit A at all. And if he strikes and you get knocked back, that means you hit A too early. But once you did it right and the camera stays in place, he'll swallow you and just chew for a little bit. And he'll spit a few times before making the attempt to strike again. You just gotta wait. Once he strikes again, at the invisible link, the real link will fall out, and once all that is done and you successfully perform the glitch, if you already set the ability on ascend, all you have to do is go to where you need to ascend and ascend up. If not, you're going to have to pull out a steering wheel because you're not going to be able to activate the ability. So you pull out the steering stick, not wheel. Pull it out and jump on it, and then you'll be able to activate the ability and then ascend. You want to ascend somewhere in this area near the gray tiles and the cracked rocks because that's where the horse will be at. You could also check out the map if you're not sure. So you just ascend here, but before you ascend to the surface, equip the bow. If you don't, you just have to do it later after you get called. And once you reach the surface and pop up, You will disappear or get called within a few seconds. Sometimes it takes longer than others, but you will be eventually. After successfully getting called, it's time to move on to the next step, which is arrow smuggling. So if you've already selected the bow before getting called, all you have to do is hit ZR and the right arrow on the D-pad to bring up the quick bow menu. Select another bow, go back into the menu and drop that same bow. If you haven't equipped the bow yet, no biggie, it's basically the same thing. Just hit ZR and right arrow on the D-pad, select the bow, go back into the menu and drop that same bow. And just keep in mind, you want to select the bow that you don't care about because you will end up losing this bow. And just from my experience, if you're trying to play around with this glitch and see what you could do, or trying to duplicate a lot of items, you might want to choose a bow that's not metal, like a construct bow or something. Because once you see those tiny particles start falling from the sky, you see that white light and you hear that boom, it's a wrap. Those thunderstorms ain't no joke. They be really getting on my nerves though, sometimes. But next, once you drop your bow, all you gotta do is go to the map and select the lookout landing tower, fast travel there, and you want to head right back to the same location where your horse is. And once you're back in the location, finally, I said finally, we can start doing the duplication. First things first, what you want to see is Link holding the arrow with no bow. Talk about skills. My man said, I don't need no bow. I can shoot arrows just as far using my two powerful God-given hands. I'm gonna keep that bow on my back and watch me. Okay, so once you successfully reach up to this point, what we're going to be doing next is something like a jump / bullet time cancel. It sounds kind of complicated, but it's not that complicated. I'll show you the easy way how to do it. So first you want to hit ZR like you're about to shoot an arrow, and you want to make sure you do this all the time, because if you don't and you attempt to do the glitch, you will end up attacking the horse with your sword. And speaking of swords, how could I forget? You have to equip your sword as well. So once you have your arrow drawn, you want to push forward on the joystick like you're running, hit X to jump, and while you're in mid-air, hit Y to attack, then ZR right away to cancel the attack, putting you in bullet time. Once you're in bullet time, you could hit the minus button to pause it and take a chill pill. Now the distance you want to be from the horse when jumping in the air, I'll let you determine that based on the video, but I will say the distance you want to be from the horse when canceling the bullet time would be about this proximity from the horse, or else it won't work. If he's too close to the horse, he will just hop on the horse without you being able to do anything. Or if you're too far from the horse, he will just drop next to the horse with the items in his hand after watching the memory. Or the most common scenario, you'll find that he will probably jump on the horse, but the items won't duplicate because your distance from the horse was off, either too far or either too close. It could be either or. And I deliberately say distance instead of timing, because no matter what time you cancel the bullet time, once Link is in the right proximity of the horse, upon pausing and going to the menu, he will perform the glitch successfully. And just wanted to mention that because those are very important things to know, because you will run into them every now and then when performing this glitch. Once you're in the menu, next you want to keep a close eye on Link, because in order to successfully perform this glitch, his hands have to be free, so he's gonna have to let go of the arrow. So next you want to hit B to get out of the menu, then hit B again for Link to let go of the arrow, therefore canceling bullet time. Now this is the golden move, my guys. This is exactly what you want to see. You want to see his arms go behind his back. As soon as you see that, pause the game again. Next, just go to your inventory and select whatever items you want to duplicate. You only could duplicate 5 items at a time. And I forgot to mention earlier, you can only have 5 of the items that you're going to duplicate in your inventory at the moment of the duplication. So if you have more than 5 of those items, just drop them out on the floor, or else you won't be able to duplicate them. Once you select your 5 items, just hit the minus to go to the memory. You don't have to watch it, so you can skip it. Next, hit the plus button once you come out the memory, then go to your items. You will see that Link isn't holding the items that you selected earlier, so you go back to the same items and select them again. And going back to what I said earlier, this is why you want to make sure Link's hands goes behind his back before you pause the game and select the items you want to duplicate. Because if you don't see his hands go behind his back, 9 times out of 10, he will still be holding the items that you selected before watching the memory. And once you selected your 5 items the second time, you want to hit B to come out the menu. And if you did everything right, you'll see a weightless bundle of the items that you selected just fall on the ground and probably blow away 9 times out of 10. Once you see that weightless bundle fall, you could just lay back and say hallelujah, because you have successfully duplicated your items. If you don't see the waitlist bundle fall, that means your distance from the horse was off and you just have to try again. All you have to do now is hit R and up on the D-pad, search for the item that you duplicated. You will see a 0 next to it. Just select them and then throw all 5 of them on the ground. Every time you throw one, you'll see it marked by a negative, and it will continue until you reach -5. Once you throw all 5 down, just get off the horse. He will be holding the previous 5 that you selected. You could just throw them on the ground right next to the duplicated 5 and do a breakdance. Now this is just one way to do the glitch, mainly for my rookies or people that get a little panicky when performing these glitches, which is what happened to me the first time, hence how I discovered the pause method. I'm not gonna lie, but technically you don't really have to pause the game before pressing B to cancel bullet time. So if you're feeling confident, you could do all the steps in one. So run, hit X to jump, Y to attack, ZR to activate bullet time, and B to cancel the bullet time. And once you see Link hand go behind his back, then you could hit minus and go to your menu. And it's not that difficult at all doing it this way, because you see how much time bullet time gives you to get your stuff together. But I do want to stress, do not, I repeat, do not hold ZR. This is the problem that I ran into when first performing this glitch. I held ZR, which prompted Link to shoot the arrow. I attacked my horse a few times, but you don't need to hold ZR. All you have to do is tap ZR and he will go in bullet time. Now I went into a little bit more details than I expected. I know this has been long. I was going to do the 21 plus items with the dispenser first, then do my easy method, but I'm just going to do my easy method first because it's just that simple. So upon practicing with this glitch, and I noticed that all you really need to do to perform this glitch is bullet time. So I used my head and said I could do bullet time without actually doing all the culling and the arrow smuggling. So all I did was get my horse, go up on a higher ground, jump down, and hit ZR to activate bullet time that way. And it worked perfectly. Once in bullet time, just do the same steps that I mentioned earlier. You can use the pause method by hitting plus or minus, or just go straight for B. It's up to you. Just make sure you see Link's hand go behind his back. And of course, you're coming from a higher ground, so you're gonna have to monitor the distance from the horse as well, and you could use the parachute to help you out. It's literally that simple, so you could literally do it anytime without activating any other glitches. I know some of you may ask why I didn't just mention that first or mention it period without the other ones, and I have my reasons. If I had never found out about that first method from my good friend Yang, I would have never come up with this method, so definitely was going to show it and give him some credit. And I wanted to make sure you guys knew about culling and arrow smuggling, because the more glitches you have in your arsenal, the better. Anyways, enough talk. On to the dispenser with the 21 plus items. Alright, so if you're familiar with the 21 item limitation, you would know that you can't drop more than 21 items on the ground. So if you want to duplicate more than 21 items, you would have to use the dispenser. So all you really need is 2 fans. Just take them out and attach them on a 45-degree angle. Put them right next to the door of the dispenser and just drop any item in the dispenser to open up the door. And once the door is open, it will stay open because the fans are next to it. Next, just push the 2 fans up as far up in the dispenser as you can, because you don't want the items pushing them out. If you need to rotate them, just rotate them. Next, you just want to throw all the items that you want to duplicate into the dispenser. And in this case, I have 48 right now, as you can see. And you want to just throw all of them in until you have 5 left. Once you only have 5 in your inventory, then you're ready to do the duplication. And we're just doing the same exact thing that I mentioned earlier. And in case you were wondering, yes, I still have my huge, beautiful black steed that you saw me kill earlier. I just didn't restart the game yet at this moment, so I'm using this horse instead, the white stallion. And you notice all my horses are just huge, man. The black one is Ganondorf's horse. I got it from Breath of the Wild, and this is the white stallion. He's just as big. And if you do this 2 more times, you'll have 20 diamonds. So if you want to continue duplicating, you just throw them in the dispenser again and continue until you're satisfied with the amount that you want. If you're using the easier method, there are a lot of high stones in the area, so you could just climb up on any of them and use them to perform the glitch. They may be a little high, but still works just as good. And once you're finished duplicating, all you have to do is go to the dispenser, pull the fan out, and let all your beautiful duplicates rain down on you. And you gotta be quick about it because the 21 limitation still stands. So once 21 items hit the ground, they will start to despawn. And as you can see, I successfully duplicated 14 diamonds. I had 48 at first, now I have 62. And I forgot to mention earlier, unfortunately, you can't use this method to duplicate exploding items or creatures like fairies and stuff like that. Because in order to duplicate exploding item, you're going to have to use recall, and you can't use recall on the horse. And for fairies, you know, they just fly away. If you're looking to duplicate exploding items like rubies and sapphires, I have another video explaining how to do that. The link will be in the description, and for creatures like fairies, I will be working on that video next. Anyways, that's about it for this video. I know it was a little long, but I had to go into details. And like I said in one of my other videos, I explain it the way I do because I know glitches could be very complicated and tricky at times, so I tend to go into a lot of details, hoping it will be easier for you guys. But if you guys feel like all the extra details isn't really necessary, just let me know in the comments. I can make it a lot easier. That way it will be easier for me and faster for you guys to watch. Or if it's good the way it is, let me know too. But if you got anything from it, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really helps the channel out, and you definitely don't want to miss out on anything. With that being said, I'll catch you in the next GameTime Legends out.